In this video, I'm going to show you how you can optimize your conversion rate specifically for product pages. We're going to cover 5 principles that the best brands such as Quip, Kylie Cosmetics, AG1, and Fenty Beauty are using on their product pages that you can take and apply to yours if you want to increase your conversion rate and therefore return on all your paid marketing channels. My name is Teodor and I'm the founder of Seven Ecom, which is the conversion rate optimization agency. And for our clients, we use these principles a lot of the times, and most of the A/B tests, they show that they helped us with increasing the conversion rate. So for that reason, I'm really confident that it can also help you with increasing your conversion rate as well. So the first thing that we're going to cover and the first example that we have here is from Quip. The first thing that is going to help you on your product page with increasing the conversion rate is having a very well optimized images. I'm going to review this on their store, and everything that we're going to review is going to be from the mobile perspective because I assume most of your visitors are as well on the mobile phone. So let's cover what well optimized images means. So product images are incredibly important because this is the first thing that your visitors see whenever they land on your product page. The product image can literally increase the perceived value and how much your customer feel like they're going to get if they pay you money. So for that reason, product images are incredibly important if you want to increase your conversion rate. There are 3 things that are essential if you really want to nail them. First off, the first image of your product page has to show what the product is. So basically, you need to communicate to your visitors what is the product that they're going to buy, right? So you need to clearly show that product, so when they see the image, that immediately ticks in their brain so that they know that this is the product that I'm looking at and this is the product that I'm considering buying, right? So this is the first image that you will see on these stores. This is just a typical product image, a white background. They can just take a look at it and they know that this is the product that they're looking at. Now, the second image that we have here, apart from the first image, this is the most visited image. And this is where they show what is the benefit of the product. So in this example, as you can see, this product helps with whitening the teeth, and that's why the second image of this product image is, as you can see, a white teeth and using this product. So now a customer immediately, when they see this product, they slide right, they know that what's the benefit of this product, it's the white teeth, and that's how they get to communicate what is the benefit that they're going to get if they pay them money, right? That's very important because every product, everything that your customer buys from your store, they have certain benefit in their mind that they want to achieve. And visually, by showing the image of what is that benefit that they want to achieve, you just confirm in that mind that this product relates to their benefit or the pain that they want to solve. And therefore, you get to increase your conversion rate because you relate to that pain point that your customers have. So very important thing, first thing is that you want to show what is the product. Second thing, you want to show what is the benefit of using that product. If you're selling apparel, for example, the benefit of your product cannot be really communicated like in this example, but this is why you will see all these stores like Gymshark or all these apparel stores where they are communicating benefit by showing models that look confident in the images. And that's how they get to communicate that if you buy their apparel, you're going to feel confident or whatever feeling they want to achieve, right? Like maybe relaxed, like, these Hawaii shorts and like t-shirts and whatever. Like that's how you get to communicate what is the benefit that they want to achieve. Now, the third thing that you want to have, and this is specifically for some products, is what's contained if they buy the product. So here we just have a typical lifestyle image. It's also a very good image just to showcase how the product looks in the real life and all that stuff. We have once again the lifestyle image and all that stuff. And then here we have an image of what's contained if you buy the product. So this is one of the last tick boxes that your customer checks when they are purchasing your product. They want to know like what they're going to get if they buy the product. So typically, you would already have that somewhere in your product page, like what's in the box and all that stuff. But it's a great idea to have it also in your images because your customers want to see things visually. It's much easier and nicer when you also show visually what's contained in the bottle. It increases that transparency. People trust you more and all that stuff. And for that reason, this is one of the things you can also contain if you're selling something like that, to show your visitors what's contained in your product, what's contained if they buy the product. and therefore increase your conversion rate. So product images, extremely important thing. First thing your customers see when they land on your product page, you want to have them very well, because this is the thing that's going to move that needle in increasing how much people trust you. If you have crappy images, nobody's going to trust you. They're going to feel like you've taken them from AliExpress and stuff. You want to have great images because that directly increases that perceived value and how much the customer will trust you. Okay, so the next thing that we have here is extremely important thing, and this also relates to all the industries and all the niches. So here what we have is you need to have a very well optimized FAQ section. Now, why is the FAQ section a very important thing? So let's cover this in this example from the Naked Nutrition. So here we have Naked Nutrition, and the FAQ section essentially acts like a salesperson of your product page. The thing is that whenever your visitor lands on your product page, they will always have a certain set of questions in their mind before they place the order. There will always be a portion of people that are unsure, like how your product works, how do you pair it with this or that or whatever you're selling. And if you get to answer these questions and as they are on your product pages, that will going to help you tick that box in their mind, and therefore when they are left with no questions in their mind, that's where the only logical step is just to proceed on placing the order. So for that example, you will see a lot of these 8 and 9 figure stores, they always have that FAQ section positioned in the below default section so that they can just tick off these boxes from their customer's mind and therefore make them place the order. So when I scroll down, we have like all these different sections, and here you will see this section that says frequently asked questions. Now here, I see a lot of the stores, they just place on placeholders, they just put something for the sake of placing the stuff, which is just as same as not having an FAQ section. What you want to do, you want to gather all your support tickets before your customers place the order. You want to have post-purchase service where you ask questions like, was there any information that you were lacking on our product page or our website or whatever? And then you want to gather all these different sources, all these different information in place in your FAQ section so that you're thoughtfully positioning answers on questions that your customers have prior to the purchase, right? So that's why the FAQ section is important. It's not just to have it for the sake of having. You really need to find out what are these questions that your customers have in mind before they place the order, answer them, and that will help you with increasing the conversion rate. Typically, a good place to place the FAQ section is the below default. Some brands place it more above, some brands place it below. Now, this is really a thing that you can test on your store, but just having a FAQ section is already going to move the needle for you, and especially if the FAQ section is really thoughtful and it's already answering these important questions that your customers have in mind before placing the order. So it's extremely important thing if you want to increase your conversion rate. Now, the next thing that we have here, this thing is kind of connected to the second thing, and this is also one of the biggest mistakes that I see whenever I audit e-commerce stores. And it is that you need to have a very low cognitive load of your product pages. So let's see what the low cognitive load means and how Kylie Cosmetics is applying this technique in order to increase their conversion rate. So here we are on the Kylie Cosmetics product page. And when I say low cognitive load, what I essentially mean is that you don't make your customers think too much. You don't make your website too hard to use. You don't overwhelm them with so many different information, because the thing is that as they're on your product page, they're already deciding whether they want to buy from you or not. So that's a huge cognitive strain already in their mind. So they're calculating their budget, they're calculating pros and cons and all that stuff. And for that reason, if you on your product page have too many information, that is already going to increase that cognitive strain. And when you pair that cognitive strain with the decision that they're making, it's just going to overwhelm your visitors. So in the end, they will just not end up buying from you. For that reason, you can just follow 2 principles from this video and apply to yours, which is going to help you with increasing your conversion rate. First thing, in the above default section. Above default section is the first section that your visitors see when they are on your product page. And in this section, you want to make sure that you don't overwhelm them with information. It has to be very clean and very minimalistic. So in this example, as you can see, when you land on this, you see the product image at the top, you see the social proof, you see color swatches, a little bit of the details, and that's it. By showing all this essential information, your visitors, when they are on this product page, they don't get that thought in their mind is that I have to think too much to make a decision to buy this, I have to read too much, I have to consume too many content. And that's what just makes that decision of buying from you much easier. When you scroll down, you can see you have this section that now pairs icons with the text, which just makes that content even more digestible. Because when you pair icons with the text, people just perceive the information much easier. And this is the above default section. This is how it looks like. And when you scroll down, you can find all these more information that they're looking for. But essentially, that's how you optimize your above default part. You don't want to overwhelm your visitor with too many information. Now, the second thing that I also want to point out from this example is that you don't want to have too many colors. Because if you have too many colors, just like when having too much information, your visitors are going to feel too overwhelmed. And for that reason, they're going to abandon your website because it's just hard to use. In this example, what I want you to see is that they only have like maximum 3 colors on their website. They have the color, which is this pink color, and they have the CTA color, which is the black color. And you can see how this black color stands out. So it's just easy to find it whenever their visitors want to find it, which just once again reduces that cognitive load. So their website is very easy to use. So generally speaking, you'll want to maintain that low cognitive load that pairs with the FAQ section, because you only want to contain what's essential, what's critical for your visitors to make a decision. And if you put too many things that are not important, that's just going to overwhelm your visitors by looking at your product page, and they will feel like I don't want to commit that much in order to make the purchase because I might make a mistake. So that's the third part, very important as well on your product page, low cognitive load. Now, the next thing that we have here, this is extremely important if you're pushing social media. The thing is that your visitors, as they are on your product pages, if you get to apply a little bit of the pressure while they're on your product pages, that's just going to help you a lot with increasing your conversion rate, because they will feel like they need to act now as they are on your website. And that's the fourth thing that we have here. It's pressure to act now. So best brands know to do this very well, because a lot of your visitors will be like, I will come back tomorrow and then I will place the order or something like that. And like in 2 or 3 days, they will not feel that urge anymore to buy from you, which is why you want to make them act now as they are on your product page and therefore place the order, right? So that's our goal when we are pushing paid ads. So here we have AG1, and here the first thing that you're going to notice as you land on the above default section is this here, limited time only, 10% off for the first 3 months. So now immediately when their visitors land on this product page, they will always have that small pressure back in their mind that if they don't act now as they're on the product page, they will just miss that opportunity to act, and they will miss the opportunity to save 10% on their order. When we scroll down, once again, you will see another here section. It's in the same color as this one. Hurry, limited supplies of exclusive AG gifts available. Now, they're a little bit aggressive when it comes to this part, but you don't necessarily need to push it this hard as they do. Only having an element that is communicating that there's some pressure, that there's some urgency or scarcity on your product page is already going to be effective when it comes to making your customers act now as they're on your product page. So for that reason, it's very important to not push too hard, and it's also important to not push for some fake urgency or scarcity, because if you push for some fake things, that's just going to hurt your brand reputation, and therefore it's just not worth it. So I wanted to show you one example of one brand, Lululemon, how they apply that urgency without being too aggressive, so that you can take this example and apply it to your store as well. So here we have this product. Let's say we want to add whatever size here. We click on the add to bag. Here where we have this cart confirmation, you can see here at the top, we have we'd hate to see you miss it. So that's literally a subtle way to communicate that you might miss this item and you're not going to have the opportunity to buy it again. So when we click on the view bag and go to the checkout, here on their checkout, here as well, you can see for your information, your items are in high demand. check out now to make them yours. So once again, they get to communicate that urgency without being too pushy, without being too aggressive. And just having this element is going to help all these people that usually postpone their things in their life are now going to place the order, and it's just going to increase your conversion rate. So, and the last thing that we have here, probably the most important thing when it comes to reducing your customer acquisition cost. So basically, what's the cost of your new customers, how we can reduce that so that we are being more profitable on Facebook ads or just acquiring new customers, right? One thing that helps the most when it comes to increasing your conversion rate on new customers and building the trust with these new visitors, so people that see your brand for the first time, this is the thing that's proven to work whenever people are not sure whether they trust you or not, is how you need to have a very well optimized social proof on your product pages. When I say social proof, I don't necessarily mean just having star rating widgets and call it a day. What I mean is what I'm going to show you, because this is really going to move that needle for all your paid marketing channels, how you get to increase the trust in all these new visitors and also therefore reduce your CAC so that you are able to just scale much more profitably. So here we have Fenty Beauty that have a very good example of what optimized social proof look like. The thing is that most of the stores, they will have this star rating widget here, and when user click on that and scroll down to the thing is that most of your visitors are not going to get to this point here. So if you have Hotjar or whatever tool that you're using to track your heat map and session recording, you will see that very small percentage of people get to actually scroll down to see this section of rating and reviews. So for that reason, once again, connected to this first point, we want to show that social proof earlier in their customer journey. So we want to show that social proof ideally in the above default section. We do that because we will get to communicate the social proof to the most amount of visitors on our product page, that therefore we will have a chance to persuade them in order to buy our products. So apart from having social proof here, the next thing that they have here is this part here, seeing it action. So here they get to show like some people how they use this product, what's the benefit that they're achieving. So now these all new visitors are going to see these reviews in the video format as well. So when you click on this one, you see how it looks like. You see some people just using it. This is a combination of different UGCs, and that's how they get to show the social proof in the above default section. Next thing that we have here is that when you scroll just a little bit down here, you can see the next thing they have is review highlights, but this one is in the written format. So you can see they're doubling down on how much of the social proof they're showing in that first part of the product page, right? So this is a little bit more below, but still you can see like it's way earlier than the reviews that you would typically have on a Shopify store. One thing that is extremely important in regarding to the social proof, and this is what I mean when I say optimize social proof, is that you want to make a conscious choice on what reviews you are showing in that part. The thing is that if you take like all your reviews that you have in your store, you will find that 80% of reviews are communicating one benefit that your customers find most beneficial in your product. So in this example, it could be that it just like helps with the hydration. You will see like 80% of reviews say that it has helped them with their hydration, whatever. And now when you understand that this is the benefit, this is the main benefit that your visitors find on your product page, that is the benefit that you want to communicate through your social proof the most. Because if you think about that, like you have 100% of visitors on your product page, that means that 80% of visitors are looking to find that one benefit in your product. And for that reason, you want to make sure that you communicate that benefit in the social proof format so that you build that trust with all these visitors on your product page. You want to make these reviews that you have on your product page as relatable as possible so that you relate to them and you also get to build a trust with all these visitors. So that's why the best brands, they always get to analyze their reviews. They talk with their customers. They do like a lot of different research to understand what's the main benefit that their visitors are finding in their product. When you understand that, you are going to optimize your ads better for that angle, for that benefit. You're going to optimize your product pages better for that angle. You're going to also optimize your email marketing because now you really know what's clicking for your customers. You know how to emotionally connect with them, and you know how to build that trust with all these new visitors so that they understand that your product is highly relatable to them. That's why you want to have very well optimized social proof in the above default section, because now all these visitors are going to relate with the benefit of your product. They will feel like this is the benefit that I'm looking for, and therefore you will get to increase your conversion rate, because that's just like a basic principle. If something is relatable to them and you build the trust through social proof, that is going to help you with increasing your conversion rate, and you're going to earn more money from the same traffic. So that's it in regarding this video. I hope that you found some useful tips from this one. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. If you'd like to receive my free trainings, my complete product page optimization training completely for free, you can check the first link down in the description here. And also, if you'd like my agency to help you with boosting your conversion rate, you can also book a call in the link in the description. And also, if you like this content in which I break down these successful stores and what they're doing, what you can take, you can follow this next playlist, which I will have on this end screen, and I'll see you in there.